Hey, we're recording. 37. Oh, okay. This is a good one. Is everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
The question for today is, what's your character's opinion of themselves? And, are they proud, self-conscious, afraid of their own power? That's it. What's your character's opinion of themselves?
Ruda loves himself.
Hmm?
Ruda thinks he's hot shit. He thinks
Okay, that's very good.
destined to be like hot shit when he kills all the demons.
Okay, so things we know about Ruda. He had a really intense military dad. He is the coolest character in the party factually and is the party's drug dealer and thinks that he's hot shit.
Dumb as a brick.
And he's dumb as a brick, yeah. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Roy's got peaks and valleys. He has a very high opinion of himself, but he doesn't consider his body himself. So every one of his failings, he blames on his biology.
Okay, cool. But, I mean, that feels appropriate to him.
So kind of like a superior asshole, but also acknowledges his failings, but doesn't feel attached to them.
Okay. It's a good way to be. Have some detachment from your failures, I guess. Who wants to go next?
I am thinking about Bluvan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Bluvan has a rather small self-concept, and that he usually prioritizes the needs of those around him and will sort of minimize his own needs.
He tries to not think of himself too much.
Yeah, I think he's humble. Probably how he thinks mostly about himself. So if someone was to give him praise, he probably would try to sort of craftily evade it in some way.
Okay, I like Bluvan. Who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go. Amil is very proud, just all the time.
Okay, cool. See, does when Amil does something bad, does he acknowledge it?
He acknowledges it, but in this coy, ha 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 ha. That was fun.
Oh, aren't I a scam?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Aveline.
Hello. I think Aveline. I think she struggles with it. Like sometimes if she's having a really good day, she does feel really good about herself, but for the most part, probably ever since she had to flee her home planet, she deals with a lot of I could have done so much better and I didn't.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or I couldn't.
I imagine that that plays a role in her relationship with her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because that'll do it.
Yeah, a lot of it comes from Nox, but I think a lot of it also comes from just feeling like she didn't save her parents, even though it wasn't really something that was within her control to do so. She still struggles with the fact that, I could have done something, even though there was probably nothing she could have done.
Right. I want you to know that I'm very excited to get to a point in the campaign where I can play with Nox. He feels like a very fun character to play.
Oh, I'm excited too.
I've pre-written a couple dozen level concepts at this point, and I have levels that are kind of personal to each character, and I try to set it up so that each level has at least 2 characters who would be interested in them for one reason or another. And so Nox is one of my go-to like character hooks for Aveline. It'll be good. Okay.
So, I don't know who Nux is.
Nox is Aveline's ex-boyfriend, but I don't know if anybody in the party would know that.
That is an important question. Does anybody in the party know that?
What is the backstory?
I don't know. Does anybody in the party know Nox's backstory?
Nope.
Aeneas is struggling with this one.
I feel like I don't know if I've told anybody in the party about Nox. I don't think it's something that she would have been comfortable with. I think Aveline probably talks about Nox a lot with Otema, though.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Aveline from again?
A research station.
An academy.
Yeah, an academy.
Okay.
Largely.
I think we established, like, early on, kind of jokingly, that because Duranta is the universal, like, mom character who just wants to be in everyone's business and frets about everyone, that probably Duranta knows about Nox and is a busybody about it. But that's probably the only one.
Probably, yeah. Based on the way our characters are built out, probably Duranta, but I don't know if Aveline would have been as forthcoming with anybody else.
Is Aveline very careful to make sure that Bluvan does not know about it?
Probably because she doesn't want him to, like, have another thing to worry about. Like, oh, somebody in our party is depressed.
Okay, good.
Oh. Yeah, I am curious about that, because that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I know.
You're trying to look out for me by not sharing it with me because I'm an empath. That's a little bit interesting.
Okay, so, let's go ahead and get started. I texted Catherine. She will be on once she's on. Okay. At the end...
I don't think we heard from Nate. Did we hear from Nate?
I didn't answer yet.
Oh, shit, you're right. Thank you. I'm very interested in this one. What does Mate think of themselves?
I struggle with making this a thing where Mate doesn't really have a very high opinion of themselves. Especially kind of like in the same vein of Rory. Sometimes it is very difficult to communicate to organics or, other beings that have a standard life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I would almost say that Mate falls on the side of being very hesitant about being excited about being a robot.
What about internally? Does Mate have any like self-loathing or anything like that?
Mate, I feel like a part of the contract with being removed from the network was a file was uploaded that gave Mate self-loathing and self-consciousness.
Oh my god!
Like there's just like a like
they fucking installed depression.exe.
Yeah, it's like ransomware.
Oh my god! They're fucking assholes.
That's horrible.
Well, don't mess with the network.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't exist before, but it definitely came when Mate disassociated from the network.
It's like a background thing that's installed on all network terminals. But as long as you check in with the network every month or whatever, it keeps it like cycled off. Okay, that's very good. I'm glad to hear that. So that was everyone. At the end of the last game, you guys had failed to say the thing that the tree wanted you to say, and then the tree got up and seemed like it was going to make it move at one of you. As we have the party stacked, which I'm pretty sure is how we had assembled it last game based on like how you guys had played the scene, Amil and Ruda are in the front. I think this thing is going to start the action by taking a swing at Amil.
Okay.
Anyone opposed?
That seems narratively appropriate.
Yep. Okay. He's going to attack you with something that I have called Log Crush,
Okay.
and mistakenly categorized as a finesse special weapon. This is not a finesse special weapon. Can you roll like acrobatics or melee? Probably acrobatics. I feel like parrying this would be pretty hard. That's some Dark Souls parrying the Demon King with a dagger level shit. Oh shit. Okay. You dodge out of the way. You didn't do quite good enough to counterattack, so it is the first person's turn. Who in the party wants to act first? And by the way, when we're doing a boss fight like this, just to keep it interesting, I'm gonna have the boss go several times per turn. So probably every like 2 or 3 players, I'll have it do something. So who wants to go?
Ruda,
Could you describe the scene a bit? Could you describe the scene a little bit more?
So
actually, I'm gonna roll because I did acrobatics. I'm gonna roll out and be over here. Is
okay.
that okay?
Yeah, it's totally fine. So you guys are in an otherwise dark building that has light coming down through a grate in the ceiling over this tree thing. There's a tree thing in the middle of the room. It's I would say probably 15 feet tall, maybe 20 feet tall, and comparably wide when it's in like tree mode. And now that it is on all fours, so to speak, it's kind of the same dimensions but horizontal, as you can see in the picture there. The room that you're in is not quite circular and not quite perfectly square. There's rubble to the north. There's a hallway to the south and east. There is 2 pillars in the southern half of the room that are like holding the ceiling up kind of thing. And otherwise, there's a bit of just rubble in the middle of the floor there. You guys have 2 open doors in the hallway behind you that you could, jump behind if you needed a break. I'm going to define, because remember, movement and stuff in this game happens in terms of zones. I'm going to define this whole center room as one zone, and then the hallway in each direction as separate zones, and each of the spaces behind doors as separate zones. So if you wanted to walk from the middle room to this room in the southwest, that would be 2 zones over. Okay.
And Ruda communicate
Well,
like.
I think Ruda's about to go.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jeff. What were you gonna say?
Oh, just go ahead.
I'm gonna ask if there's any like between the tree thing and Ruda and the warp. Like, if I'm
You're trying to ask if it has like a warp presence?
yeah.
So you're in Aelfynn. You've been around Florins before. This has the warp presence that a Florin has, which is a bit different than most animal-based life forms, but still distinctly recognizable as a life form.
I can't communicate it with it in any other way in the warp or anything, right?
So I believe we said that when it spoke to you in Old Aelfynn.
Yep.
So you probably can speak to it, although it'll be a little bit of like a dialect difference. None of the party members who don't speak Aelfynn will be able to communicate with it.
Okay. So Ruda just whips out his huge gigantic sword and then takes the charge at the tree thing and tries to like smash him.
Okay, so hold on. So just to be clear, we had a whole big conversation about whether you can talk to it, and then you hit it with a sword, correct?
Correct. I might.
All right, that is how it played out. Just making sure. Okay, go ahead and roll melee, or roll sword. Cool.
That has caffeine, by the way.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Shit. Okay, well, that huge aspect is definitely not a detriment to you here. Let's have it roll. Wooden body. Oof. It matches, which means you do hit. And amazingly, even though this thing is a solid block of wood and is nearly like completely resistant to physical damage, you do manage to do a nick on it. So you have inflicted 1 point of physical stress.
Woohoo! They shouldn't have messed
This
with
tree is organic, right?
I mean, it's a tree. Trees are organic. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm just making sure it's not something that looks like a tree, but is actually something else.
Nope, it's a well, okay, it's technically a florin. So you guys have all seen florins before. So
is it just like a big florin monster, though?
yeah, it's just a big fucking florin.
Oh, wow.
It's usually florins don't get any bigger than like person sized or maybe like 7 or 8 feet tall.
Hey, Brent, I got a question.
This is a huge fucking florin. What's your question?
I guess my question is, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
Sorry, my audio keeps cutting in and out, so I'm accidentally talking over people, I think. But I was just going to ask about this question mark and whether that is an actual question mark or whether something is supposed to be loading there that's not.
Oh no, that's an actual question mark. That's an So in this game, you're allowed to write notes to yourself, but they have to be in a like sprite. So I drop question marks down as just GM notes.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry if you see a question mark anywhere. That literally just means I had to write a note to myself, and I can put them on the GM layer, but then I have to do a whole other thing to get to them. Actually, I have to Google something.
I think that Amil...
Next person go.
I think
Got
that
a question
Amil
before we
can
go.
Oh, Roy's gonna go? Okay.
No, I just have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Roy has a beam saber. How are lasers dealt with in this game? Are they cold lasers or are they hot lasers?
They deal elemental damage, specifically laser type damage, which is basically the same as heat type damage. I just like the word laser.
So he can light it on fire.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah, this is the exact scenario in which the difference between physical and elemental damage matters.
Okay. Whoever was about to go next can go ahead and go. We'll wait.
I'm just gonna roll out down this thing and get my sniper ready. Because I can't shoot my sniper this close.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Robot voice.
Encouraging inspiration.
Okay. I caught most of that. You
I
cut
heard
out a little bit.
inspiration.
You're giving Amil inspiration, yes? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All right. That's definitely high enough. Amil, you have Bluvan is helping you focus your mind and hone in on this shot. Do you want to go next?
Oh, I already did. I'm just moving out of the way and positioning myself with my sniper.
You can move and attack in the same turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll attack.
So I believe every character can move one zone away for free, and then if you want to move more than one zone, we start having to do stuff to check how far you can move. But you can always move one zone away for free every turn and still act. So
How big is the zone?
So the zone is, I can draw them in.
Okay.
Give me a second. Shift M, Control M. Is it not? It is Control M. All right, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And while you're doing that, can you repeat those movement rules one more time?
So, everybody can move one zone away for free on their turn and still take an action. You can move one zone away for free. You can move further than one zone and still take an action, but you'll start taking penalties on your action because you're like distracted and doing it at the end of a sprint kind of thing. And I'm going to reveal a little bit more of the map just to give you guys some working space. Here we go.
Do I roll this to shoot my sniper?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I'll go next if nobody has a.
Amil is rolling his sniper.
Woo!
All right, that's a very good roll.
Yeah, that's a very good roll.
So,
Yeah.
this guy is going to roll defense.
Oh, do I also get bonuses because Bluvan inspired me?
Yeah, you can take a free +2 on that if you want.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Plus, so I rolled a 16.
A 16? Yeah, that's a big fucking roll. Can you mouse over that and tell me what the actual dice rolls were?
6 and 5.
Oof, that's a big roll. Okay, and +5 shifts. Did that roll? Okay, so he rolled a 12.
Good, you took the
on
+2.
defense, and would get 6 points of resistance if this was physical damage, but he gets no points of resistance because it's elemental damage.
It's laser elemental.
It's laser elemental damage. So this is something where you would not get this bonus for free, but if you wanted to spend a fate point, you could invoke laser for even more damage because, like...
Fuck yeah, I'm
Yeah.
invoking laser.
Okay, so decrease your fate points by 1, and that puts you up to 18 points of success.
Yep.
So 6 natural plus 5 on top of that. So that's 11 shifts.
Mm-hmm.
11 shifts is a lot. Okay, so let's see. Where's... Oh no, I've gone and gotten myself lost. I have to start... Here we go. So he's going to take a moderate consequence. I want you to help me come up with what that consequence is while I'm doing some note taking. I'm going to go ahead and... Fate points and aspects, is this the one? No, it's under health. Okay. Show to players. So I just sent you a sheet. At the bottom of that sheet, there are some example consequences. Can you come up with a moderate consequence for me while I'm doing some bookkeeping?
The laser boiled some of the water in his body. So he's got like a bubble of like...
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Okay. He's got an aspect called boil arm, like a boil, like a
Yeah.
medical thing. And that's a hefty aspect. So you guys can invoke that on him for free, and I will indicate that by giving him a red dot with a 1. That means he has 1 free penalty that one of you guys can invoke. All right. Who wants to go next?
Roy jumps up on his mag platform, moves over to here,
Okay.
and slashes at the tree with his beam saber.
Okay.
While looking at Ruda kind of judgmentally, because Ruda just hit him with a sword with no elemental effect, and says, "Smothering Dusky, a flint, wanton knife repeats whilst watching the cliff."
Oh god, it's so extra.
Rude is
Okay.
like, what?
Can you roll damage on your laser sword? Okay. He's been rolling pretty well, so let's see how he does against this. Armor roll with tough. Okay, so he successfully resisted the damage. So he doesn't take any damage.
Even though it's a beam saber? Huh. Okay.
Yes, because the idea is that just like in Dungeons and Dragons, you had your attack roll and then your damage roll. In this, your attack roll essentially gives you an added bonus to your damage, but if your attack doesn't hit, it didn't hit, kind of thing. So this would imply like you hit it, but your sword just scored through like an outer layer of bark or something. But like the equivalent of like you hit its armor, but you did not get down to the skin underneath the armor.
Cool.
Okay. So, I think the tree is gonna go because he hasn't gone in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to let out a bellow. Hey, I forgot one thing. Zai, if you want, he has a negative aspect on himself that Amil gave him when he burned him. You could invoke that, and that would give you a +2 on your roll, which would turn your roll into a 10. You would tie, which would mean you dealt damage, and then because he has no elemental defense, you would deal a decent amount of damage. So, do you want to burn up?
Nah, it's not worth it. I'd rather use that to stack on something that actually hits.
Okay, cool. All right, then the tree is going to go, and it is going to okay. It bellows, and it like the whole body shudders, and the like leaves and stuff all compress in for a second, and then they all burst out and wrap up every person who is in this area, which is going to include Ruda, Roy, and Bluvan. So I'm going to do one roll that will affect all three of you. You guys can roll defense separately. So he rolled a 13. You guys all need to roll probably acrobatics to resist that.
That roll is tough.
Huh?
Who needs to roll that?
Ruda, Roy, and Bluvan. Everybody who's in the same zone as him.
Ruda would act tough to try to instead of like doing acrobatics trying to roll out of the way.
Okay.
Without rolling a tough.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so all three of you guys are affected. Roy, you're going to take 4 points of damage. No, 5 points of damage. Everyone, Bluvan and Ruda each just take 2 points of damage. And then you guys also are tangled up as these branches that shoot out of him wrap around you. So you guys are all tangled, and I'm just going to add that as an aspect.
Where's my HP again?
If you click on your character, I've added it in there. Otherwise, it's called physical stress, and it's about halfway down this page. And you pointed out that it's kind of hard to navigate this character sheet. I added a checkbox above each section of the character sheet, and if you click that checkbox, that section will disappear, so you can block away all the sections except the one you're trying to get to. If that helps.
Okay.
Okay. Amil was not affected.
Wait, is it medical stress?
Yes, medical stress.
Okay.
So there was not a lot of damage. It was mostly just getting you guys wrapped up. Who? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Catherine said she's joining us as soon as she can. She just got back from grocery shopping. She left at 10 and it took her 5 hours.
What the hell? Just do cards.
That's a literal nightmare. Okay, so Mate and Aveline have yet to go.
Aveline, do you have a move? Because I kind of have a thing, but I don't think I'm ready to do it yet, depending on what you do.
You guys can
I'm
also
sorry.
communicate if you want to coordinate something together.
Yeah, because I kind of would like to get them untangled. I have a way that I could probably do it for Ruda, if you'd allow me, but I don't think I can get to Roy. But Aveline can teleport, or do you need to be touched in order to do that? Like,
I would have to search somebody else if I wanted to teleport them, but I can just teleport at will.
That's
okay.
correct.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Before I do that, can I open my third eye and see if it's going to tell me anything else about what's going on here?
You can. So, this is very good. Roll resolve. You wouldn't normally need to do that just to open your third eye. Okay, that's great. So I was going to say, you see something kind of shocking when you open your third eye. So if you were not ready for it, that could have used up the rest of your turn. But because you steeled yourself fairly well, you open your third eye and peer into the warp. And so the warp is kind of just like a spectral, ghostly version of the world around you, except it takes on kind of the personality of the warp entities in the area. So when you have a lot of like creatures of light who gather around, you get this what's called divine light becomes the like matter of the warp in the area. When you got a lot of fey creatures, you get this kind of like nature-y texture to the warp. When you get a lot of demons, you get this corruption in the warp. You open your eyes, and this entire facility is just like soaked with corruption.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's actually very like, it kind of churns your stomach when you open your eye and you see that you're kind of like in the warp, you're like up to your shins in muck. And as soon as you see that, you realize that you can feel it. It's thick enough that in the physical world, you can feel a like churning in your stomach that actually everybody has been feeling since they entered this facility. And I forgot to tell you because I was not paying attention. So we're wrapping that. But yeah, that's what you find is that this facility is just soaked with corruption. And you can still teleport. So what do you want to do?
I want to teleport to Roy and ask if I have his permission to move him.
Ooh, I like that.
Do what you will.
All right, I'm going to grab his shoulder real quick, and then I'm going to port him... Well, Roy, do you have any preference as to where you'd like to go?
Away from organics.
All right, I'm going to teleport him into the hallway that's just behind us, this one.
Okay, the northern hallway?
Yes.
Then I'll go ahead and reveal a little bit more of that area. We will discuss this further when the combat's over, but you guys get into that room, you teleport in there, and the only thing that like really stands out to you about this room is that there's a huge stone double door that is it has some like rubble that has fallen in front of it that would make it effectively impossible for you guys to open this door. Okay, so that was a good turn. Mate, MX8, what's your plan?
Yeah, I would like to use my robotic arms to untangle Ruda and pull Ruda back into this zone.
Okay. I like that. I feel like that is either acrobatics or tough roll. And I think it's more interesting if we say that it's tough, because this is literally like you wrestling with the vines of the tree monster with your own like you've got your like noodle arms and you're wrestling with its noodle arms.
Yeah, I kind of like that as a scene. Give me a sec, I'll roll tough.
So yeah, roll tough. I'm not going to contest this. I think that in this case, since all you're doing is removing an aspect on your ally, you're not trying to place an aspect on the enemy. You just have to roll your own. You don't have to compete with him.
Okay.
So, yes, so you succeed, and Ruda has his infliction taken away. So
my goal was to pull Ruda back to me, though. I didn't want to pull myself to Ruda.
So I don't. We've established that Mate can make himself like twice as tall, but he doesn't have infinite stretchy powers with his arms.
Yeah, no. Did we put a distance? Because I have like extensible limbs. I didn't know if that was like.
You did. I had originally said just when I did like concept art of him that he probably can stretch himself up to like 8 or 9 feet tall, but not like 30 feet tall.
Okay, so I still would have to get kind of close then.
Yes, but if you move into that area, you would have to move into the area to grab Ruda, but I would allow that you could throw Ruda back into your zone. Actually, hold on. Let me check the rules on movement. Show to players. That's just copied straight out of the handbook. Okay, so standard move, you move into an adjacent zone. It's a free action. Hustle, you move across one zone and into the next. It's a supplemental action. You take a -2 on your rolls. Okay, so you can't move, act, and then move. You can do that if you take it as a stunt, but for now, you would move, grab him, and I would allow that you could throw him into the hall behind you if you want. So
yeah, no, I guess I'll just leave it like that because I would like Ruda to not be like planted to the ground for the next move.
Okay, so Ruda is untangled and he is standing beside you. That's how we're ending the turn?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I owe you, robot. Get behind me.
You got it.
We're gonna tackle this motherfucker.
Okay, so this thing looks around and I think it's going to think of Bluvan as the biggest, the easiest target. So it's going to take a swing at Bluvan.
No.
I actually invoke an aspect here to help Bluvan.
Sure. What do you have in mind?
The aspect that I want to invoke is glowing, because I know that there's limited visibility because there's only that one light source, but I am also a light source, so he's standing close to me, he'll have an easier time seeing. Where's the aspect? I
know the aspect you're talking about. Remember that you can minimize different sections until you find the section with the aspect header. Okay. It's an unconventional. So maybe as we get further in the campaign, I'll get pickier with stuff like this. This is absolutely a way that you can use an aspect. I feel like the justification justifying using glowing to give him a benefit is like rock solid. Justifying using glowing to say that he can. Are you just giving him an advantage on his defense?
Yeah, because he sees.
Okay, sorry. I thought you. I was misunderstanding what you did. That's perfect. That's a very good use. You are going to have to spend a fate point to do that.
That's fine. I'll do that.
What do I do?
Okay, and he gains that fate point, or I gain that fate point. Bluvan, roll with your armor. So go find your armor in your character sheet and roll that. He has like medical scrubs. I don't think they provide you any defense, but this is like the traditional way to do a defense.
Did you?
Probably acrobatics. Acrobatics is almost always what you roll for defense. If you can come up with a good excuse, you could use something else, but in this case, I don't think there's anything that's more appropriate than acrobatics. Okay, you rolled a 9, so you're going to take...
Does he get a +1 or anything like that?
Oh, sorry, because you gave your bonus. So that's going to bump his roll up to a 11. The enemy has 2 shifts of success up front, and then 4 shifts of bonus from his damage. So Bluvan is going to take 6 points of damage, or you can choose to take some of that as consequences. You're not yet in danger, so you might not need it, but something to be aware of is that you can only ever take 1 consequence per turn, and mild consequences go away at the end of battle. So there's some logic to it's better to take like 1 mild consequence every time you get hit than to wait until you're in the shithole and then have to take like an extreme consequence. I would say if you think the combat will be over before you get hit, once or twice more, you probably don't need to take it. Just take the damage.
I'll take
your call.
I'll just get it.
Okay, cool. So you take stress but no consequences. Who wants to go? This thing is fairly hurt, and it has that bubbly skin aspect that makes it
I love the music.
Yeah, it's a good choice of music right now.
Yeah,
I thought this would fit.
I do have one question about the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
I had an unsettled consequence from when that guy back at the school yoked me up by the collar. Do I still have that consequence?
Which level of consequence was it?
It was a mild one. It was unsettled, and I was mostly curious if I still had it, but also I'm fine with still having it because of what I just saw in the warp. But I guess I steeled myself, so I can just take it away.
Yep. If you had not steeled yourself, you would have gotten a bad consequence.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop up the health thing and do show to players again. There's a section on consequences. Okay, so this talks about the consequences and how much stress they avoid. Oh, did I not? Oh, never mind. Sorry. It's this one. So this talks about how quickly consequences go away. Mild consequences go away at the end of an hour, even if you don't really do anything for them. Moderate consequences go away the next day, and then it goes up from there. So it's been more than an hour that would have gone away.
The special next to extreme mean.
Possibly permanent, I guess.
Oh yeah, sorry. Extreme means that it never goes away on its own. An extreme consequence would be your arm has been removed. That
Gotcha.
consequence is not going away with any amount of bed rest.
Gotcha.
No matter how much you think
also-
laying in bed would help it.
The other thing that's worth noting, you see that P next to severe and extreme? Anytime you see P in parentheses like that, it means persistent, and persistent aspects are really big deals, because the thing with a persistent aspect is you don't have to spend a fate point to use it, ever. So if you have a severe consequence, I can invoke that against you for free every turn.
Oh my god.
You either persistent consequences are either dope as hell or really, really bad.
Yeah.
A persistent consequence or like a persistent aspect on your weapon can be super cool. Ruda's weapon has huge persistent, which would not normally be helpful, but it could be helpful in the right circumstance, and I can invoke that against him anytime. If he's fighting like a normal-sized person, I will probably start using that. Okay. Who wants to go?
We're just going at it again.
Okay.
He's gonna try to go for the warped wood part, the one that's like bubbling, with his huge sword.
Okay.
Try to hit it off that.
Okay, you're hitting it with your big sword. You have a Slayer. Each time you hit a target with a weapon bearing the huge aspect but fail to force your foe to suffer a consequence, you can spend a fate point to automatically add +3. And you also have that one rocket-propelled arm. Once per scene, you can add +3 on one attack. Do you want to use both of those and just go whole hog?
Yeah, I'm going whole hog. I was going to save that rocket-propelled arm, but it seems like this is the appropriate time to do it.
Yeah,
So he screams and he's like, "This is for Bluvan!"
Okay. So this thing rolled an 11. You hit. So you get so
+3 and +3?
Yeah. Give me a second. 12 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 because you're invoking that aspect of the bubbly arm thing.
20.
And then minus 11, which is its what it rolled, and then minus 6 because that's its armor. So I forgot to add your +7. 10. You do 10 points of damage. Okay. It lets out a bellow. It's not dead, but I think you like burst that bubble that was in its arm, and so now its arm has a big like crater in it, and it's panting. Well, plants don't pant. Its leaves are panting. Kevin, what does a plant that's very injured do? It wilts.
Moving on.
I think that it's the whole tree is kind of sagging like a plant that's very dehydrated. Okay, who wants to go next?
I would like to go if no one else has a move.
Hell yes, mate.
Yeah, so I'm seeing the tree is like sagging a bit, and I see that open, gaping wound, and I want to unholster my second pistol, and I would like to gunslinger into the open area.
Okay, you're going. You're using your aspect that lets you do full auto.
Yes.
Or it's not an aspect; it's a stunt.
Oh yeah.
Yep, gunslinger. You can full auto. When performing such an attack, full auto weapon results in the need to reload. Both are considered. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to be there. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna pull up the description for full auto and show to players. So these are the things you can do with full auto. There's burst fire, empty the clip, and suppression fire. Burst fire, you get a +3, but if you roll bad, then you run out of ammo and you have to spend a turn reloading. If you empty the clip, it's guaranteed you run out of ammo, but you get a +5.
Yeah, and I'm gonna empty this entire clip in both guns.
Fuck yes. Okay.
Do I roll each gun independently?
No, just roll with the main gun. So just roll once with the main gun, and then the second gun is going to be the +5 bonus. Okay. Here we go. Oof.
Can I use that negative aspect that it has?
Yes, because that negative aspect has been the one free invoke on it has already been used. It's still there, but you're gonna have to spend a fate point to use it.
I'm definitely gonna spend a fate point to take advantage of that.
Do you have any other aspects that you could invoke to get a further bonus? Your Magnum has Old World 6-shooter, which is just kind of badass. I think that you could conceivably invoke that and just say this is your signature move with this weapon.
Like I'm drawing down on the creature. Yeah, I could go for that.
I think that works. So why don't you go ahead and spend 2 fate points, and that's going to get you up to a 13. So your roll up to a 13. And then you did 13 plus 6 plus 5 minus 11 minus 6. Oops. Okay, so that ends up being 7 shifts of success. And hey, guess what? That is just a little bit more than he had left. So I think
ding. No, I'm just very excited about that.
Yeah, so I think you pull out your guns, you start going whole hog in that hole, and then as you're walking towards it and just blasting chips out, the arm breaks off after you blast enough chips out of it, and then with the last 3 shots that you have left, you jam your gun in the sappy flesh of the tree monster and go whole hog in there, and yeah, that's enough to make it give up the ghost, and it goes crashing to the ground and does not move.
Attaboy, robot.
Happy to help.
I'm just gonna walk back up and I'll be like, whoa!
Bluvan asks,
Roy smirks
"Is it
that
dead?"
Mate was able to do what organics could not.
Yes, you were. Okay, so I think that we should probably start Aveline. Do you want to tell people about the thing you saw in the warp?
Yeah, I think now that we've got some time, I'm just gonna sync back up with the group and just be like, so by the way, this place is absolutely covered in corruption. Like, you can't see it, but we're just walking through a whole bunch of shit right now.
Oh boy.
And as soon as she says that, Ruda, you
Like, I knew it!
So Ruda can't see into the warp, but Ruda has a natural connection to the warp, just because of his like biology and his soul stone. As soon as she says it, you realize that you were distracted with all the other stuff going on and didn't notice it. But yeah, you can feel it now, and it's gross.
There's Damon afoot,
Yeah.
and it's gross.
I want to do something kind of weird.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go up to Bluvan, and I'm going to cut my pinky off, and I'm going to give it to Bluvan.
Okay.
You were right.
And I'm going to say, keep this safe, please. This is life insurance for me.
Bluvan puts it in the equivalent of like the pocket protector in the front of like one's coat.
That's very good. Okay, Amil, now I am gonna need you to take a do you think that's a mild consequence or a moderate? Mild is usually something like a bruise. I think this is moderate.
No, this is no consequence, because I'm goopy. That's the whole point of Nova.
So
Did you just give me a Horcrux?
Yeah, basically. So Nova do have like bodies and can die. They can like bleed by having the goop like goose out of them, and they even have bones that can break, but it's like their bones are made entirely of cartilage. Which is why when you get shot, you can take damage. So
all right, I misunderstood the Nova then. I do not cut my pinky off.
I mean, that's still a good idea because unlike a human doing that where it would be permanent, with you, it'll grow back in like an hour. If a human was doing this, I would say like that's a moderate consequence that's never going to go away until you get a replacement. With you, it's a moderate consequence that'll go away in an hour.
Okay.
When it grows back.
All right, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cut my pinky off, give it to Bluvan, and be like, "This is life insurance."
Okay. Yes. Sure. So I'm giving you the moderate consequence, missing pinky, that will go away soon.
Okay.
Okay. So the door to the north is sealed off with all this rubble in front of it. It looks like there was a hallway to the south that went somewhere at one point, but it's completely sealed in with rubble. What do you guys want to do?
Can Bluvan's red dot go away? That's causing me stress. Okay, good.
And also Bluvan is going to go back to full physical stress. Your stress damage is going to go away.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, same for Roy. Let's see. Just 24.
Where do you guys want to go?
Well, where's the heart of the corruption coming from? Maybe that's a good place to go.
I don't know, I just feel sticky.
Yeah, it's kind of like mold. Like when there's mold all over the room, it's hard to say where like the center of the mold is, you know?
Could I essentially follow it better with the third eye open?
I'm going to say, here's what I'll say. With your third eye, you can just see the spiritual residue in the area, and I think you get the impression that to the north of you, past that sealed door, is where the corruption is thickest. but obviously you can't see like what is over there.
Can I
Or
start like moving the rocks telepathically just to see if we could get that way clear?
The rocks are heavy enough that you would get the same issue you had during the training bout, where you'll start to hurt yourself if you do all of those, and because you don't know what's going to happen later in the mission, that could be a problem. But you can, if you're willing to commit to it and, you know, really hurt yourself to do so.
What about this hallway to the right?
Why don't you go ahead and explore that hallway to the right? So there's a door to the north in that hallway. And the hallway continues and then continues further. As you guys go around a corner, you're going to find a... As you guys go around the corner, you find a dead body that is not like a... I put down a skeleton mostly just as a reminder to myself. This is not actually a like a skeleton. This is actually a human corpse that is stinking to high hell and is somewhat rotten.
Is there anything notable about it? Or does it just look like it's been here a while?
No, it looks like it's... If it had been here long enough, it would start to either mummify or decompose. This is still mostly intact. You think this is probably less than a month old. And it looks like a young adult. And oh, hey, Jeff makes a good note, Kevin. You got to keep up with your emoji game. It's like the corpse is less than a month old. The person was more than a month old. And it is... It has been caught by essentially a bear trap. You don't... I mean, it is a foreign design, so it's not a, like, human bear trap. But it's the same kind of, like, relatively simple physical trap that would, like, fuck you up if you stepped on it.
Do they have anything in their pockets?
Are you gonna rummage in the corpse's pockets?
I'm gonna be like ew the whole time, but yes, absolutely.
Okay, I need you to make a resolve check. Because this is very mentally upsetting, I think.
Oh no.
Okay, I think the difficulty on that was 11, it feels like. So you're going to take 5 points of mental stress. That's going to put you from 14 down to 9. And just keep track of that because this might be a stressful few hours.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you search through the pockets. I think it had a... I think that the pockets have, like, there's a phone in there, and a few, like, there's like a pencil and an eraser, and I'm trying to get to... So I think that this corpse had, like, a backpack at one point that has been taken away. I don't know if you... Like, I don't know how you would physically know that by looking at it. So...
It feels like the corpse of a student.
It feels like the corpse of a student. And
yeah, did Aveline not find any identification, though?
No. If this corpse had identification, it... Actually, you know what? It had a wallet. And the wallet says... Do I have any information that I wrote down? I just said killed by a trap in the floor, so great on me. Somebody give me a name.
Harvey.
Harvey? Okay.
First thing
This-
that came to mind.
Yeah, this corpse was Harvey.
Rip Harvey.
Yep, rip Harvey. He's real
Gone too
gross
soon.
now. Okay. So you've got rooms to the north and south of the front of the hall, and
Is the phone
rooms
still
to the
working?
Huh?
Is the phone still working?
Its battery's dead.
Fuck. Okay.
Rooms to the north and south, and rooms to the north of that like second part of the hall, and then the hall continues past where you can see.
I'd like to just maybe try to get everybody to be cautious about the presence of other potential traps that we could step in.
Okay. Other question. You guys, so most of you can't see in the dark. What are y'all doing for lighting? Are you guys just using flashlights?
We're using me.
I think we're
You
using
don't use that much light. You're
Okay.
not like a light bulb.
All right.
You
Does my retinal implant help me see in the dark?
Huh?
Does my retinal implant help me see in the dark? I can see a greater level of detail, but
Yeah.
not completely. Okay.
But you might still, because most of you guys can't see in the dark, you might still want to have just like a flashlight out, just to be safe.
Roy's on his anti-grav platform, and there's like light coming out the bottom of that, so he can't see far, but you can at least see traps that he'd step on, but he won't because he's floating.
Okay, good. All right, so do you guys want to go to the room to the north, the room to the south, the room to the far north, or continue down the hallway?
Let's do far north.
Okay. So Ruda goes in there to explore. I'm gonna go ahead and reveal. Chunk. Once again, you can't tell exactly what this room was used for, but the room has long since been abandoned. I don't know that there's anything particularly notable about it, except, Okay, here's what I'll say. One thing you notice is that there's these barrels in this room. The barrels are not actually as they are depicted here, which is like the same kind of barrels that like humans make. They're actually like Aelfynn style barrels, but a very old take on it. So Aelfynns have this like sort of like floral, organic, like curvy architecture to a lot of the things that they build, and this looks like a very crude take on that same kind of architecture. So do with that as you will.
So I recognize it's Aelfynn.
Wait, the ones to the right.
Okay. The hallway comes to an end, and there is a door to the north. Do you want to go open that door?
Not alone.
Okay. Want to go?
Bluvan will help.
Okay. So, yeah. So Bluvan and Amil walk down the hallway. Amil, I'll roll for you, but Bluvan, can you roll? Actually, can one of you guys roll perception, and I'll let you guys decide. Amil's in the front, so I feel like it should be Amil.
Okay.
Okay, 11, perfect. You're going to notice. So you notice a bunch of you notice footprints in the dust, and you notice the footprints all like conspicuously group up and move down one half of the hall at one point. And as you notice that something seems off about the floor on the other half of the hall. So whoever was through here before seems to have noticed something that you otherwise might have missed.
Down this hallway?
Right about where Bluvan is standing now. Bluvan is not actually standing there. So it's like this square. There's like something off about it, and somebody who's been through here before walked around it.
Okay. Hey, Bluvan, do you want to set this trap off, like, at a safe distance?
What trap?
I point and I go, look, right next to you.
That's a trap?
And I'm gonna be like, probably.
What do you think we should do?
Let's walk back here and shoot that area with a rifle.
Okay.
I believe in you. I inspire you to shoot it.
Okay. Yeah, so Amil, you pull out your rifle, you shoot it with a physical bullet.
Physical.
Okay, so the bullet cracks the stone and then ricochets a few times off of the walls. And it's
God.
Very stressful. I think you don't know where the bullet went ultimately, but it bounced several times.
Oh, that was not a good idea.
However, after you kind of lost track of the bullet because as soon as it hit the floorboard, the floorboard like sprang upward really fast, and you noticed that where it hit the ceiling had some tastefully concealed spikes in it. So if you had been standing on that, you might have been rocketed up into those spikes.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then the floor panel lowers itself back down.
That's kind of scary, but we were also sort of prepared for that event, so we wouldn't take any stress damage or anything, right?
No, I think that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to come up here and open the door?
Do you guys want to explore?
I'm gonna walk carefully.
Okay.
But yes.
So while you guys explore that area, does anybody want to? Do you guys want to just follow them, or do you want to explore these other rooms?
Yeah, no, is there a door where the captain is standing, like right next to Duranto?
Yeah.
Can I open that one?
Hell yeah. So this is a room that I actually do kind of get what the creators of this map were going for. It's a bathroom.
Oh, okay. It looked kind of like a kill room at first, but yeah, that's a bathroom.
Yep, it's a bathroom. And actually, it has a very cool manual shower in the above that grate in the floor. There's like a bucket kind of thing with a lever. I guess you wouldn't know this. If you were to pull that lever, it would release a like batch of rainwater that it had collected that you could shower in. Okay. Do you guys want to get this last room? Or just keep going?
I want to open the last room.
Very good. You're going to get that completionist trophy at the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
Okay. You open the last room, and it looks like the furniture that was once in here has pretty much evaporated. Can you roll? We don't have reflex. Can you roll acrobatics for me? Okay. As you open the door and you see what's inside, you start to step through, and then you hear a crack, and you step back. You jump back just in time to avoid a boulder that had been positioned over the doorway that has fallen down and crushed the like floor in front of you and blocked your entry. I think you take another that would be stressful, right?
Oh yeah, no, she's pretty shook right now.
Yeah, I think you're gonna take another 2-3 points of stress from that. 3?
That's
3.
mental, right?
Yeah, mental stress.
Records
Okay.
dungeon.
And you said 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Aveline's gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, I'm currently at 6 out of 14. I'm a little I'm not well.
If this was Darkest Dungeon, you would probably want to leave the dungeon at this point, go back to town, try again later. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you guys want to do from here?
Rue's gonna backpack and then try to keep going because it feels.
Okay.
Bluvan and I will wait for the others.
Okay, so everybody groups up and then meets further in the hallway. Amil points out the trap, and you guys all tastefully avoid it. Past the door, you have a stairwell with stairs that go up. And then at the top of the stairs, the hallway twists to the right, to the left. Okay, do you guys want to just go for it?
Bluvan proceeds, but watching for traps as he goes.
Okay, then that'll be a free aspect that you can invoke on this. Can you roll perception for me?
Was I asked to roll? Did you say roll perception?
Yes. Perception. Okay.
Wow.
Let's see. 2 + 5, so that's pretty good. Okay, you can take your free aspect to make that a 10, since you said that you're going carefully.
Okay.
So, as you get to the foot of the stairs, you notice a vine-esque cord that is stretched across the bottommost stair. You don't know what would happen if you pulled that cord, but it's probably better to not find out.
Ooh, okay. Well, I will point it out to Amil. And whoever is in tow. I'm not sure who's all coming with, but...
What was the question?
So I don't know. I guess you guys can just proceed. There's a tripwire that you guys can all step over pretty easily.
Hold on. Roy's got a disc drone. Why don't I just use that to fly ahead and scout?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So here's what I'll give you. You use the disc drone to fly ahead and scout ahead. The hallway ends with a door, and the disc drone that you have doesn't have the appendages necessary to open that door. So you'll probably need a person to go in and open it.
Who's gonna go open it?
Ooh. Bluvan will step over the wire and proceed to the door.
Okay.
Just like a team captain.
Good team captain, Bluvan.
So
okay, I'll move the rest of the party to kind of try to keep up. All right,
is there any way that we can mark that cord just so that later, if we were having to get out of here in a haste, we wouldn't accidentally trip it? Like, could you? Does anyone have any way to flag it, kind of, with a big?
I can draw on the map. I don't think anybody who's not a DM can, and I don't know if there's a way for me to give you guys DM permissions, like specific permissions, without just making somebody a DM.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just meaning, like, do your characters have some means of doing it?
Nope.
Does anyone know?
Oh, like the actual in-game characters.
Yeah, the actual, like, does anyone have a can of spray paint or something, or the equivalent, I guess?
I don't.
Does anybody have a can of spray paint? I feel like the only one who has any chance of having something like that would be Aveline, because I can absolutely see Aveline being a part-time tagger.
Oh my god.
That's your call.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I am gonna need you to add an appropriate aspect onto your character sheet.
Okay.
Let me know what that aspect
Space
is.
Banksy.
Fuck. Oh god.
It's right. I mean, you're right.
Yes,
but I hate
that's
it.
honestly perfect.
Yeah.
Would
Okay.
that go under culture?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, it goes under personal, and I think the personal section has culture under it. It's kind of awkwardly labeled. Yeah, that whole the top section that starts with high concept and ends with like raised in academia. That whole section is personal aspects.
Okay.
And then race aspect starts under it. But yes, it goes under the word culture.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
So then, real quick, just off of Bluvan's guidance, I would go ahead and tag that real quick. But it would probably just be like, since we're in a rush and I'm already very stressed out, she just like spray paints like a red circle with a cross through it. Like, don't touch this.
Oh, okay. You don't make it a
Great.
real quick like anarchist symbol or anything?
If she was of better mind, she probably would have put more effort into it.
Okay.
But I think Aveline's a little shook up right now.
He is real shook up right now. I want you to know that when I was grabbing the party to just like quickly drag them away from you, I had the Harvey's corpse on the token layer, and so I grabbed him and dragged him along. And I like to think that was like one of you guys just accidentally like hooked onto him and had been dragging a corpse behind you for a few minutes. Okay, Bluvan, are you opening this door?
Okay, so once everybody's in position, I'll kind of give them the sort of like, how like a SWAT team who's about to like crack into the door, they're all like in position and stuff. I'll do like a little 3, 2, 1 with my webby fingers or something, and I'll open the door and like everyone's ready to just see what's on the other side of it. And so,
Awesome.
3,
The door
2,
explodes and you
1.
die instantly.
What? I die instantly? Is that what you said?
No. You're good. You look inside.
I open the door so that it's
there's a door to the south of the room. There's some more of those weird barrels. You actually have natural daylight coming in from the northeast corner of the room. And you have yeah. Okay. There's a few animal bones in here, in the northwest corner. Otherwise, there's a lot of rubble where that wall has fallen in, and some plants and stuff that have grown in from that rubble. Yeah.
Aveline would like to poke her head in just to make sure the level of corruption in here is pretty much the same as what we've seen so far.
So you guys have gone up a floor, and I think it's a little bit lighter up here. It's like 15% lighter, maybe. Like it's enough that it's noticeable, but barely.
Yeah, I think I'll just communicate to the group like, yeah, we're getting a little bit further away from what's corrupting this place, but we're not completely out of the woods yet.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah. What do you guys want to do?
I feel like Aveline's gonna stand in the sun for a little bit, try to get her wits back about her.
All right. So just give me.
Could you say a bit more about those? Oh, could you say a bit more about what the animal was, the bones, or what we think it was from?
Does Bluvan go over to check them out?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And that's how I die?
Yeah, and that's how you die.
Great.
Cool.
Bluvan
just give
says
me
that.
a second. Layer, token layer, and then
Oh!
layer, token layer. So these are not exactly spiders as you and I know them. I'm imagining that they don't have the like web capability, and they're a little bit more like dogs in the way that they eat. Like they have traditional jaws that they just go to town on you with, but they do have a lot of legs, and they're hairy and bulbous. And one of them, as Aveline goes to look out that section, jumps down on her from above. And
Oops.
another, as Bluvan goes to inspect that. Right click. Okay. As Bluvan goes to inspect that corpse, 3 that had been sleeping in like they're sleeping in like a nest that was kind of camouflaged to look like stones. Yeah, they're all gonna jump out at you. We're gonna treat those 3 as just a minion group. So those 3 are one enemy, and then the big spider is another enemy. And okay, so Aveline and Bluvan are both gonna get hit. Hi. Oh, the cat's very cute. I didn't make character sheets for these guys, so okay, Aveline, you got an 11, and Bluvan, you got a 2. You guys need to roll defense.
I'm sorry, how do I roll defense again?
You roll armor, which is down below.
Oh, right. Thank you.
And then you pick what you're using for defense. Okay, Bluvan.
Come on, medical scrubs, don't fail me now.
So Bluvan, you succeeded by 5 points. If you had a melee weapon, you could counterattack, and you would actually get a bonus on your counterattack. But because you don't have a melee weapon, the best you can do is
So, question about that. What is my favorite tome considered? Is that
that
a weapon?
A psionic weapon. So if you were to anytime you use psionics, you can add that as a bonus. But it's not melee.
Okay. So I don't use it to whack people with,
No.
like Princess Peach pan or something.
So I was gonna ask, because we never established what your exact Oh, Aveline, thank you for reminding me. You are going to take some stress from this. Bluvan will too. So Bluvan, you take Oh, right. I was asking about your tome because we never established what your favorite item is. Normally characters.
It's the it's like a position desk reference for one of those big fucking books.
I was gonna say it's like a Grey's Anatomy. I feel like that's actually very appropriate as an item that you have a sentimental connection to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna update your character sheet and just put in that you have a fucking Grey's Anatomy. So Aveline rolled a 10 and her opponent rolled an 11. So you're gonna get hit, but you're only gonna take 2 shifts of physical damage, and you can roll resolve to see if you take any emotional damage. Fuck yeah, you don't take any emotional damage.
Just take 2 out of medical stress then?
Yep.
Okay. You said they rolled an 11, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I can't counter then?
Correct.
Oh, right. I have to... Never mind. I gotcha.
Whenever you get attacked in melee, if you win on defense by 3 points or more, you can counterattack. Certain stunts might allow you to change that a little bit, but if you don't have a melee weapon, you can't counterattack, and if you don't have, if you didn't win by that much, you can't counterattack.
Gotcha.
So Bluvan, I updated your character sheet to have a item called Favored Gray's Alien Anatomy.
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
So, is it possible to like run away as an action?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, consider me running away.
Okay. Bluvan is running away to the south. I actually think the nature of this conflict, unlike all of the other ones that we've had, this is going to be a little bit more of a... we're just going to do tests until we see whether you succeeded. We're not going to have this be a full conflict. So whoever wants to go, just go and roll with whatever you're doing. And then if you guys succeed on the rolls, then you win the encounter kind of thing. This isn't like a real fight.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Turn around and smack this spider with my staff?
Fuck yeah, roll weapon. Yeah, so your staff, you have it one entity as a weapon and one as a focus. Use the weapon entity.
Yes.
Quarterstaff. Fuck yeah. Ooh. Oh, you rolled a 4? Yeah, Aveline, I'm real sorry. I think that it, I think with a 4, it's gonna be able to counterattack you, and just to keep things going quick here, I'm just gonna say that you take some physical stress, so I'm gonna give you another 3 points of physical stress, but no consequences or anything. All right, so Amil rolled a 12 with the sniper rifle. That's certainly enough to kill one of the little ones.
Physical.
Yep. And Ruda rolled an 11 with the spine launcher. Ruda, that weapon is automatic. Do you want to do a regular attack, which is kind of just like pop, 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 or do you want to do burst fire or full auto? I'm sorry, burst fire or empty the clip.
Empty the clip.
Okay.
Ooh, not playing games.
That gives you a +5 bonus on your damage, and yeah, it's a good thing Bluvan ran out of the way because you completely eviscerate. Which are you shooting at?
Babies.
The babies? Is that
You
what
had
I
it.
said? Okay, yeah, you completely eviscerate the remaining ones. And I remember that this weapon is a it kind of looks like a machine gun, but if you guys, anybody who's played Halo, this kind of looks like the Covenant version of a machine gun. Like it's just a little bit different than the way that humans would design a weapon, and it shoots these like plastic-esque spine needle things, and yeah, it just absolutely fucks those things up. And yeah, does anybody want to do a roll and try to get that spider? Mate, Roy?
Did Amil not shoot the big spider, or were both of those attacks for the small ones?
I was shooting one of the little ones.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely would like to. A quick question, and I don't know if thematically, because I didn't say anything about it. I would just be in the custom of reloading after battles, right? Like, I didn't go into this battle with an empty clip.
Yep, and in fact, the way that ammo management works in the game is that, obviously your weapons all have an ammo capacity, but we're not, like, counting bullets. The way it works is it's assumed that in the natural flow of combat, your character's not just like holding the trigger down 24/7 from the time they enter the battle. you're shooting, you're getting behind cover, you're reloading when you get the chance. Like, reloading is just part of the natural flow of battle. So normally when your character runs out of bullets, you reload and it's not considered an action. If you completely fuck up an attack roll, so if you roll like double ones or something like that, I think I said that if your dice roll came up as either a 2 or a 3, then you fucked up your shot bad enough that in the process of shooting, you go to reload and you fumble and you fuck up your reload, and now you're going to have to spend a turn to reload because you like threw off your pace. That's why machine guns, the more like rapidly you're shooting, the more likely you're going to have to spend an action to reload. But outside of combat, you just reload automatically. And
okay, that's super fair.
Right. The other thing is that some weapons, in fact, I need to check if this is true for Amil, because I kind of think it might be. Yep, I have forgotten to be keeping track of this. Hey, Amil, your sniper rifle is considered single fire. Specifically, it has the equivalent of like a bolt action you need to do between each shot.
That is good to know. I haven't actually shot more than 2. I haven't actually shot more than 1 because I switch barrels.
Sure. So the mechanics on this is just going to be it's not actually that you need to reload after every time that you shoot. It is if you ever get a result of 9 or lower, then you need to reload. So your skill at shooting is taken into consideration.
Okay, all right, I'll remember that.
I think that's So as long as you maintain good rolls, which it looks like you have done thus far, then you just, like with Mikhail, Mate, like reloading when he gets the chance, you're just like, doing your bolt action thing when you get a chance.
Yep.
But you sometimes need to do another one. All right, nobody has finished off that spider yet.
Yeah, could I take a pot shot? Unless Rory, you wanted to jump in.
Want to do this?
No, Roy is hanging back right now.
Okay, cool beans. Yeah, I'm gonna take a pot shot at the front side of the spider.
Okay. Are you doing a single gun, double guns with rapid fire? What you doing?
No, I'm just gonna do a single shot. I have a little bit more control over the single shot, and I don't want to hit Aveline.
Hell yeah, I approve. Okay, just go ahead and do a weapon roll. Let's see if you roll big. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
That's legit.
That's a 6 and a 5 and a 4, and that's a big fucking magnum. So yeah, you blast this thing just as it's going in for a bite out of Aveline, and you blast a big hole straight through it, and it topples over to the ground. Okay, that's all dead.
All right.
Cue the Final Fantasy success music.
Yeah,
so,
are you all right, Aveline?
Yeah, no, I think
Aveline has like, I would honestly guess that she's probably covered in some spider goop right now, but she's so grateful that she just flops herself on the Mate like, thank you so much.
Don't mention it.
Hey, I need to check a thing for Bluvan. Stunts, Master Surgeon, Adrenaline Boost. Okay. It says specifically medical. Okay. So if you need to start taking consequences for your mental stuff, Aveline, just keep in mind that Bluvan is a master therapist and will be able to help you recover from those consequences quicker.
Nice.
It's true.
So, how do you guys want to? Where do you guys want to go from here? You've got a door to the south of the room and an opening to the east.
What do you mean by an opening?
The wall has fallen in this section, and
Is that
That.
here?
yes.
Interesting.
Why don't we try to open the door to the south because we have everybody here?
Okay. You're able to open the door. There's no issues with this one,
Okay.
and it is a spiral staircase going down. So you went up, and now you have the chance to go straight back down.
This might lead to the room that was blocked off. Maybe.
I like it. Let's go to hell.
Okay.
Wait. Actually, I want to ask Aveline, what does the corruption look like down this staircase?
It gets real dense.
Oh,
it gets
boy.
denser than it was before. It looks like it would be uncomfortable to move through.
Oof. It's not looking great down there, guys.
Why don't
And
we?
in that case, I will not be heading in first.
Why don't we? Why don't we have a brief chat as we've all sort of reconvened here and ask what our plan of attack here is? Are we trying to rout this corruption? Are we trying to look for the survivors? What are we trying to do?
I think look for the survivors, right?
Okay, so what about that dead guy that we saw? Is that bad?
We'll probably need to bring his body home.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
He's like, obviously, there's Damon here. So obviously the plan is, yes, get the survivors, but we're going to need to kill all the Damon too.
Okay.
Before we move on, Mate has had their hand patiently raised in the air for a little bit, and people haven't
that's
been looking, so I
adorable.
just raised it a little higher.
Okay.
Bluvan,
Hello.
could you come check those spiders with me real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm getting pretty bad reception in here, so I'm having a hard time checking Zoodle, but I want to learn more about these spiders. Can you help me?
Zoodle.
Let's see. What kind of emotion would one want?
Actually, Bluvan, you are not able to help Mate because Mate is not a biological being. Mate does not have a warp shadow that you can target.
Yeah.
The checks.
I was mostly hoping that you would have a little bit more insight on the zoological background of these animals. Hoping that maybe this could give us some kind of advantage moving forward.
Bluvan, if you roll medicine, that would be what you would use here. Okay. Bump, 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 bump.
I like the idea of still trying to provide inspiration. It's like, yeah, I don't know what you're doing, but your dance is funny.
Okay, so Bluvan, you
Yes.
By the way, Bluvan, I can hear you pretty good, like
Yeah, I'm back, I
two-thirds
think.
of the time. So don't worry about talking. We'll let you know if you cut out or anything.
Okay.
So yes, you inspect these things. They don't seem to be anything like supernatural or like special in any way. Every one of the planets that have life on them, I don't know what the correct word for that is. Kevin, do you know if there's a word for that? Yeah.
Habitable?
Habitat?
Inhabited, sure. every planet that is life-bearing tends to have some common themes in its life. There's like, huge philosophical and like scientific speculation as why that is the case. What we know about genetics and evolution implies that should not be the case. There should be much more biodiversity in the universe than there is. But for some reason, animals in the universe tend to all, like, a lot of the animals are furry, a lot of them have, like, 4 legs, a lot of the sapient life tends to be bipedal. We don't know why that's the case, that just happens for some reason in this galaxy. So even though you've never seen this species before, this species follows trends that are common for like life in this galaxy. It's kind of the same way that like if you or I were shown a new animal that had been just discovered, it would probably have 4 legs and probably be fur covered and like stuff like that.
Okay. Well, my hope here with Bluvan was to kind of look for something that we could take with us as an advantage into any additional battles, like some aspect that we could take from learning about their biology.
Right. So I will give you guys a like, zoological research aspect, but you don't need to write it down because you probably won't be in this area too much longer. If it comes up, I will remember that you have it, and hopefully you guys do. Okay.
Cool beans. Thank you.
I like it.
Thanks for your help, Bluvan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. How do you want to proceed? Oh, wait, real quick. Mikhail, I know that you're our biggest, time factor. Are you good to play until 5, or do you want to get off at 4?
Yeah, no. I'm good. Let's keep rolling till 5. Also, Zai, I'm not sure if you're talking, because if you are, I'm not hearing you.
I was not talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw your thing going on and off.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, my Discord thing is lighting up whenever Brent talks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I wonder if it's getting. I wonder if it's picking up any from your mic. You can go to the settings in Discord and reduce the mic sensitivity or improve them. One of the two. There's like a slider where you can tell it how loud things should be before it picks it up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not happening. I was just talking a lot. I have a manual mute on my headset, so it's just lighting up whenever you talk. It's nothing important.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't being like overshot. I'm so sorry.
Nope. So, you've got the stairwell to the south and the opening to the east.
Bluvan suggests that wherever direction you'd like to go, he will lead. If there's a want for such a thing.
So I think that we got 2 objectives. Ruda wants to kill the demonic source, right? And that would probably be down the spiral thing, and then exploring the ruins for remains or survivors probably would be up here to the east, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So what are we actually being paid to do?
Let's go find some corpses.
Okay. We'll make this quick. You guys explore the area to the right. It's like a field inside of a crater. So there's a lot of like plant life here and stuff like that. One thing you notice, I think you would find this with a bit of investigating. You find like a pile of skeletons, and these are very old. These are not like students. These are probably the original inhabitants of this temple. And then the other thing you notice is in the space above this crater that you're in, another one of those thick iron grates has been meshed over the top of the crater, so that even if you were able to like climb the walls, you would not be able to get out.
Do you guys think that this is a prison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the
There
note
was
at the
a sign
beginning was
over the
like, it's a
entrance.
prison.
There was a sign over the entrance that made it sound pretty prison-ish, even before you guys came in. So it's feels like it's a prison. Okay, so do you guys want to
We're
go
going
further down?
So there's an opening to the east, right? Is that denoted in this farthest right passage that I see? Or is that already explored?
With all the green? That's what you guys just looked at. That's the crater.
Let's go down into the depths.
Okay. So
Would you like Bluvan to lead?
Yeah.
okay. Give me just a second. I have to do some things. Okay. You step into at the bottom of the stairwell. There's no traps or anything in the stairs. Or actually, I think that there were some traps and they have been disarmed. You get to the bottom of the stairwell and you find, for the first time since coming here, in a well-lit room, somebody has set up a bunch of mobile lighting rigs, something that you might see somebody who's like working at night for a long time might set up, or like the kind of lighting somebody might set up in a cave that they're working in. So it's temporary, but it's substantial. It's a like big room. It looks vaguely ceremonial, maybe even religious in nature, although obviously you can't tell the exact function. To the south, there is that door that you weren't able to get through before. There's pillars holding up the ceiling all throughout this room. At the end of this room, you see hold on, control, is it E? Oh. Oops, escape. Give me a second. Okay. There it is. Shift click. Shift click this one too. Okay. Control shift. Oh, yeah, there it is. I'm learning how to use hotkeys. Cool.
Ren, your last sentence definitely trailed off with "you see a." We're all in suspense.
Oh, sorry. You see a gaggle of humans. Or not entirely humans. You think that one or two of them might be like Fauниans. They're standing at the far north part of this room where there's like an alcove with a big mural on the wall that's sort of like three-dimensional in nature. And they're investigating it. They've got all kinds of like computers and scientific equipment set up in the space around them. I gotta keep going for a while. There's a lot going on in this room. One of the things you notice that is pretty horrific is there is a dead body off to the side of them that is it has been like mangled and chopped apart, and a lot of the people in this room have blood stains on them. One thing that you notice, because you have your third eye open, Aveline, is you finally see the source of the corruption. You see 3. Oops, hold on. Control Z. It's is it? Here we go. And Control Shift. Oh, there we go. You see 3 big, nasty shit. What did I call them? Did I write it down here? I think they're called obsession demons. Here, I have it written down in warp entities. Fixation. They are 3 big fixation demons. It looks like one of the demons is a greater demon, and the other 2 are lessers. And that is what is going on in this room. None of the people or demons have noticed you yet. I think that I think everybody needs just like, a few seconds to kind of like wrap their head around what you're seeing in this room, because there's a lot. And then once you guys start to start thinking straight, what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna tell everyone there's demons in this room.
Do you say it quietly?
Yeah, very quietly. Like, I'm gonna be like specifically, I'm gonna be like, hey, Ruda, don't go absolutely batshit just yet, but there's demons in here.
You go absolutely batshit, just not like this second.
Yeah.
So I can do things telepathically. I'd like to transmit like good vibes, basically telepathically to Ruda, because I know Ruda's really getting ready for some ass whooping here. So I'm gonna try to inspire you.
You giving Ruda like telepathic Vicodin?
Yeah, basically.
To go right now. You're inspiring him because he's just gonna charge.
Okay, yeah. Unless you specifically want to resist it, Ruda, Bluvan is just keeping you calm enough to be functional, and not, go completely rogue on us, until the time is ready and he lets you.
Yeah, I think this time he doesn't.
Okay. Cool. And Bluvan, as always, Ruda is just a pleasure to work with, like telepathically, psionically, because Ruda has that soul stone that makes him very easy to target with psionics. So, yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, so all Aelfynn have these stones in their chest that's a natural like connection between their physical bodies and their warp shadows. So they are very easy to interface with magically, which is both a boon and a curse, depending on what they're doing. Okay. So, calms down a bit. What are you guys doing?
Try to come up with a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So who's had the most experience fighting with the daemon? Is that Ruda?
Yeah. Aveline? She's a child of the work?
No, it's absolutely 100% Ruda if it's specifically fighting demons, because Ruda is a member of the Children of the Warp as well. So you have a lot of the same like teachings and that kind of stuff that she has to go off of, but in addition to that, you were raised by a demon hunter. You are one of the most like proficient at killing demon people in this, in this society.
Yeah, I guess I would just ask Ruda, like, how do we proceed? Because I don't have any archival data that points to this. What do we do?
Ruda, can you roll occult for me? Is this all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 12. Very good. Yeah. So, one thing you know, Ruda, is you are able to identify these based off of their like shape and, for lack of a better word, like color in the warp, even though it's not actually color. You're able to identify these specifically as fixation demons. So I'm going to pop up the document that I wrote on warp entities for you to reference. Fixation demons is at about the 1/3 mark down. So fixation demons feed on obsession. They both feed on and create obsession. So you know that like a thing that is textbook fixation demon possession is becoming obsessed with a project to the point that you like lose all other like everything else in your life. You like, you know, stop eating, you stop sleeping, you don't, you know, do any distractions. You just do this one fixation 24/7 until you die, basically. So if that is what's going on here, it would explain why the professor and students haven't checked back in like a month. They are, by demonic influence, being kept completely fixated on what they're working on.
Huh.
I will also say, like, you know the like the specific occult rituals and stuff that are helpful in fighting fixation demons. I'm not gonna like you can come up with what that is, but there's like a nuance to fighting fixation demons versus fighting hatred demons and stuff like that, and you're proficient in it.
Okay, yeah. So Ruda might be really proficient in this, and Morgan's completely out of his comfort zone here. So we're gonna have to think about this.
Hey, can you say that again? Your mic was really garbled for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I like Morgan needs to think about this.
Right. Okay. So, Roy, I have been forgetting something the whole time that we've been in here. That is also significant. So, Roy, you're a Hierophant, which means you are associated with warp creatures of light. And we've discussed that in depth. That means a lot of things, and it doesn't necessarily mean like ethically good. It just means that they are opposed to the warp creatures of darkness, which are demons for the most part. And the two forces are the two forces oppose each other. So divine light, which is what warp creatures of light lets off, cancels out corruption, and warp creatures of light and demons both like do extra damage to each other, for lack of a better word. You're basically familiar, because we have established that you have these special warp creatures who have an interest in Roy, and I think one of them has been following you the time that you've been on this planet. Your familiar is like very upset right now, and because you're not an astropath or a witch, you can't actually look into the warp and see it, but you can like feel it and kind of like, you know, you can like unconsciously psychically commune with it. So you have this thing that travels with you and helps you do what you do, and it does not like this place, and it is like Ruda levels of pissed right now. It wants to crack some demonic heads.
It's interesting. We never talked about a familiar before. That's new to me.
So it's not like one familiar. We talked about that you have you don't use the like Nephilim that are the traditional beings of light. You use different beings that are agnostic and don't like, favor human sentimentality. You remember us discussing that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like those kinds of creatures. There just happens to be one in the area who's been like sticking with you because those creatures are all like interested in Roy. We've established that the reason those creatures like hate demons is not actually the same that Nephilim do, where it's like a like very personal emotional grudge. With these creatures, it's because the Nephilim are all like impractical, like, or sorry, the demons are all impractical emotional beings who are just made of like the basest, most like biological, petty like emotions, and the things that you work with are the polar opposite of that. They're like, pure serenity and knowledge and stuff like that. So that is to put context on, what your things are all about right now.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Do you guys have any idea how you want to proceed? Holy shit, Kevin, this is good pizza.
We're just gonna start the ritual to try to like basically to distract them first. Specifically for the
to distract the demons.
Distract them first, and then to get them into a vulnerable position where we can like kill them.
Can you make sure that your mic is good? You're clear for like a second when you start speaking, but if you speak for more than a second or two, it starts to garble for some reason. But I was able to get most of that. Okay, so Ruda, something that would be a good distraction to them and also would help you guys out a lot is how to do a summoning ritual, which will pull them out of the warp and into the physical world. And so that would be both very distracting to them and would make them vulnerable to you guys. Okay.
He turns around to the group and he's like, all right, here's the deal. There's 3 of them. I'm going to take them out of the warp, and you're going to see them in a minute. Don't blow up. Fucking shoot them.
Okay.
Will we be able to see them?
When he pulls them out of the warp, yes. They will be manifested in the physical world.
I mean, would Mate still be able to see them?
Yes. Once they're manifested in the physical world, yes.
Okay.
Because at that point, they are physical beings that you can take in with your sensors.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Likewise, if a physical person was transported from the physical world to the warp, Mate would stop being able to see them. Okay, so Ruda is doing this occult ritual, and we'll go over that in a second. Is anybody else doing anything to prepare or have anything in mind for the plan once this goes off?
Yeah, I'd like to secure the VIPs if possible, because that's tantamount to my cornerstone. I wouldn't want to watch them be hurt.
All right. Mate's gonna go secure the people. Anyone else?
Just to reiterate, I'm just helping with Ruda's mental state as he does this.
So Bluvan, all of these people are under the sway of a what did I call them? Fanaticism demons?
Fascination demons.
Fixation?
Fascination.
Yeah.
Or fixation.
So
yeah.
Fixation, yes. So Bluvan, one of the things that you can do is you can interface with these people's emotions in the same way that the demons can. So if you wanted to, you could work on counteracting the emotional like influencing that the demons are doing on these people. You can essentially like fight them for control over these people's minds.
Am I right in thinking that person at the top may be, from just a hazardous guess,
That
the
is, in
famous
fact,
Mel
the
Pooty?
famous Mel Pooty.
All right. Well, I feel like that's as good a place to start as any. So if I've already sort of given Ruda a little bit of mental comfort, I guess I would try to do a long-range sort of telepathic battle for Mel Pooty's mind.
Okay. Awesome. So that's what Bluvan will be doing. Roy, Aveline, Amil, do you guys have any specific plans you want to be working on during this fight?
I'm actually just going to be getting my crosshairs on the big guy and not shooting, but just have them there and holding it.
Okay. For as soon as he's summoned.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to have like cover behind one of these pillars?
Yep, I already moved my character.
Hell yes. Aveline, do you have anything you want to have in the plan for when this kicks off? Was that Aeneas, or was that the song?
That was the track.
Yeah, that's the track.
I thought that was the case.
Yeah, that just happened to be very good timing.
Anea said, but hasn't said anything else yet.
I think... Yeah, I'd like to just stick in this corner here because I might be throwing these barrels, but I don't want to immediately be seen.
Okay. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, then narratively, Ruda is definitely the one who starts this action, and Ruda uses that occult roll he did to summon these demons. And Ruda, I think that in this case, I think it is literally like you cut your palm with your sword, and then you use your blood to like draw a rune circle on the ground. Like it's some literal occult shit. And then as soon as you like slap your bloody palm down on it, there's a flash of not quite light, but something like light. And these three creatures are pulled into the physical world. They're I have customized sprites that I made for them that I really, really enjoy the vibe of. They're these kind of like, they look like ink blotches, and they have like, their body is made of darkness, but they also have this halo of light around them that makes them pop out, and they look like they don't belong in our reality. Like they're not affected by like light sources. I think a lot of them, they have kind of humanoid-esque anatomy, but they just like float above the ground. They don't seem to be affected by gravity or anything. And they just look wrong. And that has happened. They've been pulled into the world. For Amil, this is probably your first time seeing a demon. That might be the case for some others as well.
Did they sense me as a warp
What was the
entity?
question?
Do they sense me as a warp entity?
As soon as you summon them, they immediately know the place that the summoning ritual was placed, and as soon as they like look in that direction, they see you and they know you and they are coming after you. So that's going to happen in just a second, but does anybody have anything they want to do immediately as soon as that happens?
So everybody can see these creatures now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The second, because I had my crosshairs on the big one. The second it pops into existence, I want to shoot it.
Fuck yeah. You roll, just so that you guys know, the corruption that I've established is like spread throughout this whole dungeon, is really thick in here, and that will be a persistent scene aspect that I can invoke anytime by spending fate points.
This is laser.
Okay. Very good.
Nice.
You're shooting at the big one?
Yeah, the main one.
Okay. You hit him, and you're going to do... I think you do 6 shifts of damage. So I will make a note here. Okay. So, okay, I did start making character sheets for these guys, and I never finished it. Okay, so that one has been shot. I was
one of
going
the
to
other
say-
things that I wanted to know about was... Sorry. One of the other things that I was going to inquire about was how successful that battle from Pooty's mind was.
Oh, have you rolled yet?
Nope. You can do that. It's the
Okay.
empathic scion roll, I guess.
Yep, so you would want to roll with either diplomacy or intuition or tough.
All right. I mean, it specifies
resolve.
intuition,
I
so I
think
went
any of
ahead with
those
that.
could have an argument for it.
Okay.
Intuition, that's perfect. Okay, so the demon is actually what's going to be rolling against you. And it is going to be rolling with its resolve. Okay, so it managed to push back against you when you tried to get into her mind. Actually, Ruda created the aspect distracted on these things. He specifically said he wanted to distract them, and then he succeeded at his role. If you want, you can use that distraction to either give him a -2 or make him re-roll. He rolled pretty high, so the re-roll might be better.
Yeah. Can I invoke the distraction to ask a reroll?
Okay, then he's going to roll resolve again. He got an 8.
Ooh, very good.
You
Yay!
succeed. And so because it was a slight success, I think the way this is going to work is Pooty has been wrested away from him, but she is not like immediately conscious and helping you. I think she falls to the ground unconscious.
Okay.
Okay. So if nobody else wants to go immediately, then I think what's going to happen is yeah, I like this. Okay. What's going to happen is all of the students at once move completely like robotically over to these packs of science gear that they had set up, which in hindsight I should have drawn onto the map. Actually, hey look, we've got some boxes over here. So I will say that they moved over here. And also, hey, I never drew down zones. What do you think the zones are in this room?
3 by 3.
It's divided by that.
Boxes?
Or maybe 4 by 4.
No, I think
Yeah, divide by the boxes going to the stairs, then maybe the next section would be the back half with the last pillar, and then the 2 pillars, like the 4 sets by themselves should be a zone.
Okay.
Is it radio silence or is it?
Yeah. So there's our zone map. And control. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, all of the students, all at once run over to the stack of boxes, and they start rooting around in there, and they are going to come up, and I think 2 of them have rifles, and they're like the kind of rifles that you would take on a wilderness expedition, and then the other 2 have plasma torches, the things they use to cut their way in here, and they are going to start coming at you guys, but that's the end of their turn.
Jesus.
Yep. Okay, so who wants to go?
So, question: are these demons connected to these researchers? As in, if something happens to them, will something happen to the demons?
You tell me. So it is a natural thing for Hierophants to fight demons, but just based on what you know of Roy, do you think Roy has ever fought demons before?
I would think that Roy avoided demons more than actually fought them. Like the familiar that you said following him around is like super pissed off. Roy is more of the put off variety, as in, God damn it, this again.
Right. Then I think you don't know.
Okay.
Ruda would know. Oh, and also remember, Roy, if you put down Divine Light, that supersedes the corruption in the area, so the corruption effect in that zone will go away, and a Divine Light effect will go into that zone instead.
I don't see any Divine Light ability on my character sheet.
Be...
That's why I haven't like really said anything about that, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Oh, here we go. It's Divine Scion. It's a big... Okay, so your Divine Scion ability has a lot of things listed under it because it's a very, like, dense ability, but read up on the description of Divine Scion.
Okay.
Okay.
Brandon, I don't know if you ever resolved the 6 points of damage that I did.
Oh yeah, I put down a -6.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep, it took damage. Okay, Roy, Bluvan, Aveline, Amil. Oh, Amil's already gone. So
I already went to.
Bluvan, Aveline.
Wait, I want to answer Roy's question real quick. You can't do anything to the kids because it won't affect the demon. But if you kill the demon, the kid's not going to be protected anymore. So we need to be targeting the demon, but they have plasma torches. The kids.
Yes, so that is correct, Ruda. You know that hurting the children will not hurt the demons, and hurting the demons will not hurt the children. But if you kill the demons, it will break the connection between them. And in fact, even if you just hurt and distract the demons, that might be enough to break the connection as well.
Yeah, so I try to like tell the group that.
Okay, in response, Bluvan has to interject, "Leave the children to me!"
Godspeed.
Okay.
Them plasma torches.
It's good that you know that, because I was about to kill a bunch of kids.
Man, was not ready for that.
Yeah. No, I was pretty sure that was the case. So,
They're next.
okay. So, who wants to go?
Yeah, in that case, I would like to go.
Okay. What's your plan?
Yeah, so I'm gonna move up to this pillar,
Okay.
and I'd like to take a pot shot
Okay.
at the demon on the left, the small one.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll attack. Oh, by the way, the demons. So there are 3 enemies that I'm tracking in this. I'm tracking the small demons as 1 enemy, the big demon as 1 enemy, and the children all as 1 enemy. And then Mel Pooty would have been a 4th one, but you guys took care of her. Okay, you hit and you did. I'm gonna say this guy has 2 points of armor, so that's 19 versus 11. You do 8 shifts of success. Oh, actually, yeah, let me look at your roll there. Perfect. Okay, mate. So I'm giving you a fate point. This will go into play after this scene. You have to re-roll. Because the corruption in this area, one of the things corruption does is that it twists fate, and it twists fate in a bad way. So your shot is different than the one that you thought you just made. But it's still good. Okay, yeah, so you hit. I think that's 7 shifts of success.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, you significantly, like, you did a chunk on this demon. It lets out a bellow.
Very good.
Okay. Who? I think if nobody has anything they immediately want to do, I think the demons go.
Did already take his turn casting?
Yeah, you summoned the demons, so you're out for this turn. Okay, then the 2 lesser demons are both going to rush at Mate, and one of them is going to try to grab Mate, while the other one claws at its at their stomach. So yes, where's this button? Here we go. Generic roll. Oh, this will be interesting. Actually, they don't go for Mate, because they do primarily psionic damage and could not easily hurt Mate. So they're going to go for the next closest person, who is Ruda, which is probably the worst person they could go after.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
well, you were like they were going to go after the person who casts them out.
I'm going to shift all of you guys over a little bit just to make sure that they're in the same zone. Sorry. Okay, Ruda. They rolled a 12. And one of them is trying to, like, get around your arms and, like, pin you down while the other claws at you. Let's see how you roll for defense. Ooh, 11.
I use a fate point here.
You can. Yeah. You can use a fate point, so...
I like to use the Demon Hunter aspect.
Okay, so that'll push it up to 13. If you can come up with a second aspect that you can use, you could get that high enough to counterattack.
Oh, yeah, so he's had a lot of experience as a gym rat with his gym buddy, sparring, to know how to get out of a grapple.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm subtracting 2 fate points from you. You only have 2 left. But that's going to be able to get it high enough that not only do you not take any damage, you can choose to either counterattack or create a positive aspect.
Yeah, I'm gonna counterattack.
Okay. Go to 10. All right. Let's see that sword roll. Oh. That's actually each player controls that directly, so it's not a group thing. It's better. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. Okay, Ruda rolled a 10. That's not actually bad. And
Right.
Oofa doofa! That's double ones.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but
So you have 6 shifts of success plus 7. I think you don't even need to invoke your aspect that helps with damage. Yeah, I think that you immediately just chop one of these straight in half, and this like black ichor sprays all over the room. So you did 17 total versus 6. That's 11 shifts.
Wow.
Okay, so so one of them is straight up dead, and the other is around, but is like very disoriented by that. They were not expecting a demon hunter here. Okay, who wants to go next?
Did the one demon dying release any of the children?
Sure. I'm trying to decide if this would release half the children or if all of the children are half as possessed. I think it's the latter. I think they have like a communal effect, but I think one of them dying staggers the effect. So for one turn, they will just not be possessed.
Okay, that's very good.
In that case, before I forget, I'm going to have them go, and they look around confused and horrified, and I think a lot of them like fall to the ground, and some of them just like run in random directions. So they are just all kinds of disoriented right now.
Okay, that's not very good.
That is an aspect. I guess the aspect is disoriented. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Yes, Roy would move next to that area and cast Divine Scion on this area, this zone.
Okay,
itself.
You're trying to fill it with Divine Light?
Yep, so I can get rid of the last of their possession or whatever.
Okay, cool. I will make a note of that. Okay. So yes, you do that. Very good. That is definitely going to push away the last of the demonic influence on these children.
You would say, "Wake up, you ignorant children."
That's not even poetry.
No, but
It's
I like
not.
it. It feels appropriate.
Very funny answer, though.
Okay, so Ruda counterattacked this turn, but Ruda has not taken his turn. Neither has Aveline, Bluvan, or Mate, I'm pretty sure.
I thought I just went, or is this the top of a new round?
What did you do most recently?
Yeah, remember I shot at the one demon and then I had to make a second shot because of fate.
I think that happened this turn. We're on the second turn. Have you gone twice?
No, I'd only gone once. If I can go a second time, I definitely have a move if no one else can go.
Last turn.
Okay. Yeah, if no one else wants to move, I know exactly what I would like to do.
What do you want to do?
So I'm gonna move up.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm moving up to this section, and I'm just going to turn around and put on my like external speakers, and I'm just gonna start playing like kids YouTube, whatever the equivalent of that is, to try to calm them down.
Now, you do know that these are college students, right?
Yeah, but I don't know that, so I think that like to me, I'm seeing them like for their life, and I think that this would help keep them calm.
It's fucking very good.
And then I'm gonna turn around and I'm going to apply my vigilante's mask, and I'm gonna pull out my second gun and draw. I'm not letting anything get into this area.
Okay, that's good. I was gonna say I don't think you can do an action after
Nope.
that, but you definitely. That is a completely appropriate GIF.
I don't know
That is
how I
the
found
most
it.
appropriate GIF.
Yep, it's that. It's 100% that.
Yeah. Okay, mate, that's fantastic. Since you're not competing with anyone, I think that you just succeed at that. I'm not
Okay.
gonna slow us down by making you roll.
Very good. Cool.
That's dope. So that's a very good turn. Who wants to go next?
I can go again. I think it's.
Keep in mind that this zone is filled with divine light, and anybody who acts in there will have an advantage.
You can run one zone without it being a penalty, right?
If you go through a zone into a second zone, then you suffer a -2 penalty unless you succeeded in an acrobatics roll, I think is how it works.
Okay, I will travel closer to the children. I will step across into zone middle, and I will do my empathic scion towards the children again. Same roll as before, just now with children in mind.
So the children actually have had their connection broken between the demon getting killed and then the divine light being put in place. They're safe, probably for the time being. If you wanted, you could still do some mind shit with them and try to just mind control them yourself and have an army of teenagers at your disposal.
Oh my god. That's a bit... That sounds like a great tactic for battle, but not something that I think Bluvan would want to put the risk.
Oh,
Roy would look at Bluvan and say, "This is the efficient choice. What is your cause for?"
yeah, you're not ready for child soldiers?
They have plasma torches and hunting rifles.
They've relinquished those, right? They've dropped
Become General Buck Naked. Do it.
Have they dropped their plasma torches?
Two of them have not.
So does that mean that so those children are not going to plasma torch us, right?
No, they're just very disoriented and trying to figure out what's going on.
And what the hell is this, by the way? What is that?
That is a partially eaten corpse.
Okay, all right.
On my notes, I have that corpse is named Melissa.
Oh no!
Wait, not Mel, right? Melissa?
No, not Mel. Melissa.
Okay, there's a lot of Melissas going on. They're flying fast and loose here. So
well, Melissa was Professor Pooty's favorite because they had the same name.
Holy shit, this is so dark. I don't know where to begin with how dark this is. But I'm not going to try to convince the children, who are all, by the way, wearing like blood-spattered shirts, proving that they probably ate their colleague Melissa. I'm not going to put them at any harm's risk at this point because I think that they're ultimately the people we're trying to rescue here. So maybe just maybe, I will take out my weak-ass pistol and try to shoot it at the big one in the back.
That's very good. Do it.
Oh, not great. Not great.
All right, let's
Should
see.
have just invoked those child soldiers.
Wait. They're not an aspect, right? Or are they?
They could have been.
Mediocre.
Not currently in any way helpful to you.
All right, yeah, I'll just take the miss, I guess. Oh,
Wow!
Fucking miraculously, you hit.
I don't know what happens. I didn't expect that.
The party is surprised.
You hear an audible wow.
So to explain this a little bit, these things actually don't have great physical stats in the meat space. They would be much harder if they were still in the warp. Okay, you rolled.
Thanks, Ruda.
Yep. And you did 4. You had 4 shifts of success. However, this thing has a lot of health and has a bit of armor. So You only did 2 shifts of damage to it. Oh, sorry. It should just be, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I think that the big demon has to go next. That feels only right.
Mm-hmm.
And
He's got
the
shot.
big demon moves in a like a lightning fast zip across the room and plows into Bluvan. And let's see. So Bluvan, it is specifically going to dig its claws into your temples, and I need you to roll resistance. If you have a ward, you can use that.
What's a ward?
It's a type of armor. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
I've got medical scrubs.
Yeah, you don't have it.
I roll what?
Shit. It's not resistance. The brain one.
Resolve.
Resolve. Thank you. Son of a bitch. You're rolling good. Perhaps a little too good.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a fate point, and I'm going to invoke that. I'm going to invoke the corruption in this area and say that your resolve falters because of the like existential stink around you. And so instead of having 2 points on you, it's going to have 4 points plus a 4 strength psionic weapon. So you're going to take 8 shifts of mental damage.
And you said that I could do a mild consequence to do what again? To that amount?
It reduces it by 3. So you would go from 8 shifts down to 5 shifts, and the mild consequence goes away at the end of an hour, I believe.
Or a moderate one, and it's -6.
Yes, but the moderate one lasts for a day, I think.
Mhm.
So why don't I take, you know what? Why don't I take a moderate consequence and try to just,
Okay, so you're only going to take 2 points of mental stress, but you're going to take a moderate consequence. And because this is a fascination demon, I think that you're going to gain some new obsession that sticks with you for a while.
Great.
What would this be?
I'm obsessed with children.
No, I'm not doing that.
Nope.
How about this? You have an obsession with darkness because you are staring into this black void of a creature as it claws into your brain. And for the next like day or so, you are going to be like,
Is Bluvan turning into like Gollum?
yeah, basically you're going to like keep being in bright places, and you're going to want to like find dark corners to lurk in and stuff like that.
You got to start saying children's.
Okay. I'll definitely talk about my precious.
Okay. Very good. All right, so this combat is getting close to over. You have one of the smaller demons is still alive, and the big demon has been hurt, but not terribly so.
I think Roy would cast Divine Light or Divine Scion in the zone that he's in now.
Hell yeah. Okay, then let me go over here. Draw shape.
Does that negate the divine light that you put in the other space, or can you just like extend that?
Roy didn't know and wasn't concerned about that.
I haven't said one way or the
Wow.
other, but
Well,
I
he sees that you're there protecting the children. So.
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I respect that though.
think as long as you're spending an action to do it, you can put these wherever you want. So, in addition to taking away the corruption in this area, that's actually going to damage the demon. So, can you make a roll for me? I think it's probably going to be resolve.
Do you think Bluvan would enjoy being in this light now?
Oh, no, he's not going to.
Wow, that was a very decent roll.
First one of the campaign.
Okay. Yeah, you did very good. So you are going to do you have a focus? Do you have like no, because you have
What do you
two,
mean?
you have a sword and a machine gun.
Yeah.
So you just do 3 shifts of damage because it has some resistance. But Bluvan, I need you to roll resolve.
Do I also get an attack move since I didn't actually move out of my zone, or is that the
No,
whole?
your action was creating the divine light. So that was your attack. Okay, Bluvan, you're going to take 6 points of mental stress.
Wait, because of the light? I thought I liked light.
No, you love
Sorry,
darkness now.
Oh, light bad!
So you can reduce that damage with a consequence, or you can just take 6 points of mental stress.
You could take another consequence, and now you hate light and dark.
I only want gray tones. Everything's absolutely neutral. Has to be.
I think I'll just absorb the pain.
Okay, yeah. So that's not going to take you out of the fight or anything. You still have 4 points of mental stress left.
Wait, so what happens when I get to 0? Do I die?
No.
You go insane like a Lovecraftian hero.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So when you run out of stress, either physical or mental, I wrote this down because it's pretty cool. Essentially, we make a plea bargain over what happens to your character. At that point, you no longer have narrative control over your character. So if it is a social situation where you run out of mental stress before your enemy does, then I get to say how that scene ends for your character. If it's a physical conflict, I get to say what happens to your character in that physical conflict. So that could be something like, and it can be in broad narrative terms what the consequence is. So the consequence could be that you suffer some terrible injury. It could be that just maybe it's nothing bad. Maybe you just fall unconscious and the battle goes on without you. Maybe it's something bad happens, but not in this immediate scene. So an example that the book gave is a consequence I could give you for losing a physical fight is as a result of your actions, a close friend dies. A narrative consequence happens when you run out of stress, and also you are no longer able to participate in the scene, whatever that means. But you are taken out of the scene, and yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Roy has gone. Bluvan has gone, I believe. Ruda has not gone. Aveline has not gone. Maybe Amil has not gone either.
No, I took a shot at the beginning.
But you've only taken 1 turn, right?
No, that was my second.
Okay. Okay.
We're just gonna go. Aveline, do you want to go first?
Yes.
Wait.
You guys can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. So when I teleport, do I have to teleport onto a surface I can land on? Or can I just go wherever I
It has to
want?
be a space that you can see.
Can I teleport myself above the bigger demon in the zone of light and just bicycle kick down onto him?
If you want?
It just seems cool, and I have the spring legs. I want to use them.
Listen, it's cool as shit. Do it.
How would I roll that?
So you're going to roll melee, but I will take your coolness into consideration for your melee attack. For this purpose, still use your quarterstaff as the weapon, but we will use the stats for your quarterstaff and say that it's actually your kicking legs. Do we need to add your kicking legs as a weapon? Is this going to come up frequently?
Yes.
Okay, I'm adding kicking legs. Kicking legs.
All they're for, no walking, just kicking.
So you said roll the staff, roll melee. Oh, there it goes. Because the first roll I accidentally just rolled straight up melee.
Okay. Let's keep your results from the first roll. So, that is a 6 + 6 + 4. You're definitely going to get some bonus for doing the double sixes there.
Don't I also get a bonus for being in, or advantage for being in the light?
Are you in light right now?
I teleported above him, technically, so I would think I'm in the second zone.
Sorry, I just wasn't looking at the map. Yes, absolutely. So that is a free bonus, so that puts you up to 18 versus his 10. And you have 2 more points on the weapon armor ratio, so that's 10 points on top of him. Okay, I tell you what, he's hurt. He's hurt bad. If you can come up with a fate point and an aspect to invoke, I think you can end the fight here. Remember, it doesn't have to be one that's written down. It can be something that you know about this environment, something that you know about this situation, something that you know about this creature. You can ask me questions if that helps.
At this point, there's, like, considering he's in the light, he doesn't have as much of a connection to the warp anymore. Like, he can't pull anything out of his sleeve, so to speak.
He's out of his element.
Out of his element.
I think that's fine. That's fine. He is disoriented by, like, this whole situation. He's spent days in here working on the same thing, and then all of a sudden, a lot of things change really fast, and suddenly there's a crazy, like, rainbow-haired girl flipping down on top of him with bicycle legs. And also, I want to add, Aveline, we have neglected a very important fact about your character thus far. Your tattoos are just, like, totally bonkers right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Full sleeves, and they're, like, strobing neon colors.
Yep.
Yeah, dope. Okay, so it's a cool as shit scene as you pop into existence over his head just as your leg is coming down, and you Tifa kick this guy in the head, and he goes flying across the room and disintegrates as he's against the wall. So I guess I will go ahead and delete him.
There's a burst of light when I want to say there's a burst of light when Aveline does that, and at the same moment, a little bit of a tattoo on Roy's back flares momentarily.
Ooh,
Y'all are
interesting.
damn light.
Okay. So we're getting into epilogue territory. So Mikhail, it's 5 o'clock. If you want, we can stop here, or if you want, we can take 10 minutes and just clean up what's happening in this room.
Yeah, no. Let's do the wind down.
Okay. So, the students are, like, disoriented. I think some of them have fainted, and others are like sitting on the ground shaking. What? How do you guys start this situation?
I told those.
Sorry, that cut out. What'd you say?
I said I still get the shadows.
Okay. Bluvan is in the corner of the room, the nice dark corner of the room.
I think that we should bring the students and the teacher, though, over to Bluvan in order to do, like, healing stuff.
For Bluvan to check up on them?
Yeah, for Bluvan to check up on them.
Does Bluvan approve of that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys bring the students over. The students who are like clearly in shock right now, they go, but they're very like almost non-responsive about it.
Sure.
Okay, so they come over. What do you guys want to do about the corpse?
That's a touchy subject.
I'm already collecting the remains.
Okay. Are you like bundling it up in a tarp or something so that it's not as gruesome?
Yeah,
So-
I took off my duster and I started like piling the remains into it.
Oh.
So mate. None of the children are really super aware of what's happening right now. I think it would be best if they didn't know once they come back to that they were like feasting on their corpse of their friend.
I gave them snacks and played the music of their people. They should be fine.
What?
Oh my god.
Wait, what's your argument? I don't understand.
I think Mate's argument is that they're fine.
They're fine.
They're not fine. They don't want to know that they were feasting on their friend. We should really try to like really disconnect, like put the body in a different room or something.
So, Bluvan, to that end, you are a telepath. It wouldn't be easy, but if you wanted, I think that you could make a roll, especially because these guys are already kind of like mentally unhinged and like in shock. I think that you could try to erase their memory if you wanted. You could try to like erase their memory of the past month.
You know, I think this is the most ethical reason to erase someone's memory that I can think of. Like,
Backfire.
Yeah.
wait, what'd you say?
I'm waiting for the roll.
Well, okay, maybe, like, is there any way that I can invoke some cool aspect or something to help me along with this? Anybody want to give...
Oh, hey,
any reason?
Bluvan. You
What?
could benefit from the divine light.
Alright, so I'll bring the children into the light and try to erase their memory, but, I might give out, so, you know, we'll see.
Okay.
But my goal is to just erase any trace of, like, what they've been doing and
Okay.
connecting, like, their
So,
murder.
important question. Do you want to do the same thing to Professor Pooty? Because Professor Pooty, there's just like...
She fucking earned this. She has all her dark memories forever.
That's kind of where I'm at, and also she might have valuable information that she got out of this, whereas the students wouldn't. I think there's a lot of reason that like she ought to keep her memory.
Yeah. We'll just
what that
focus
is.
it on everybody who's a student.
Okay.
What do I roll?
So,
What do you want me to do?
Roy is very against this.
really?
Wait, what?
Yeah, taking someone's memories? Roy is very against that.
Oh, okay. I'm like, but they're okay.
So, do you want to talk about it, or is it seething hatred of me now? Or
No, Roy wouldn't hate it, but he would see that like he would. I'm trying to figure out the way Roy would say it, but essentially, taking away their memories takes away that level of experience that they've had, and thus will make them weaker and more susceptible to this happening to them again.
It would be really, really shitty if this happened to you twice.
And Roy is suspecting that it's something to do with the fact that you were impregnated with darkness, that you would even think to do such a thing. But Roy doesn't really care much about biologicals, so ultimately he's like, do what you will.
Amil is gonna pipe up during this like tense moment and be like, this might be a bad time to say this, but can I have my pinky back?
So, like, the consequences as I knew them are that I'm fixated with darkness, but not that I have become deranged and seem like I'm unhinged.
Yeah.
So, just to clarify, I don't project anything that anybody would be aware of that shows that I am, like, totally gone or something mentally and, like, corrupted.
No. They might be able to tell just based on the thing that the demon did to you and then you avoiding the light afterwards that something has happened. But you don't give any reason to believe that like you are mentally incompetent or anything like that.
Okay, so, you know, I've made my case. Roy's made an okay case for the other side. I don't know what you want to do to resolve it, party members, but I won't do it if the group protests. But I do feel like it's in their best interest to forget this happened, and then we can educate them about the dangers of tampering with demons in the future.
Okay.
I mean, Rude is all on board.
Roy feels the pursuit of knowledge trumps all and walks away.
Oh God.
I want to make sure that we complete our job, so I'm, regardless of what you do with the kids, I'm bringing back the remains because they need to be brought back.
Yeah. Okay.
It was an unfortunate smelting accident.
I love Austin Powers. Okay. So, Bluvan, do you want to? I think that you should roll guile for this. Bluvan has a high guile.
So I don't think I actually I don't think I'm gonna weigh in on the situation. I think that like the people here are old enough that they could make a decision of whether they want their memories for themselves.
They are all in shock right now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they don't need to choose immediately.
You could.
Well, Bluvan chose for them.
Wait, hold on. Can I invoke the light aspect?
Exactly.
Do you
I'm
see?
going to need you to spend a fate point because the one free invoke of the light has already been used.
Can I spend 6 fate points? I'll spend 6 fate points.
Jeez.
No, you spend 1, but just re-roll.
Okay.
You rolled Snake Eyes before, so I think you'll do much better the second time.
There you go.
Damn.
Erase those
you went
minds.
from 6 to 15. With a 15, not only do you like cleanse their memories of the trauma, I think you do it in a very gentle way. And if you want, I will give you the choice. You can either leave them with the like intellectual memory that they went on this trip and there were demons involved and like it was really fucked up, but they don't remember any of the experiences, or you can erase all of it.
Yeah, I think the intellectual knowledge that they went on the trip and literally just
Okay, so it's more like they read like a Wikipedia entry about this part of their life.
Yeah,
like they have a vague understanding of what happened, as if somebody had told them what happened to them, but they don't remember any of the experiences, so they don't have any trauma.
Exactly. The emotional connection is pretty much gone for all that.
Yeah. Okay, so you just gave these kids a lifetime worth of free therapy. I think if you wait, so if you guys wait a while, Professor Pooty will wake up again. And then there's one room left in this dungeon to explore, and I think those two things we should address next time.
Okay, that's fair.
Hell yeah!
Okey doke.
All right. All right. Good night, guys. This was a very fun game.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was real cool. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Good evening.
All right, y'all. Good game. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.